Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and today I will be doing the Sootstone quest with a couple of you guys. Just a reminder that I do have a Discord. I'm going to start linking it in the description below, and anytime anybody wants to play, you are welcome to join. Patron members and YouTube membership members and anyone who donates or pays money or anything like that does not get any sort of priority access. It will be based on a system where anybody is allowed to join, but anybody who wants to play and hasn't played before will be given priority access to join my lobbies. After all, I do want you guys to all feel like you're valued here, and I don't want to leave anyone out, because I've been there and it does kind of suck. That said, I'm going to try petting Poogie one more time, then after that we'll hop into it. Oh, I messed up the timing again. I feel like I'm pressing it slightly too late, so maybe I should try to predict and prematurely press it? I'm not sure, but it always makes me feel bad when I piss the Poogie off. Still, I'm sure I'll get it at some point. I'm going to try to get it at least once before I finish with this game. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, I actually got a debuff from this one. I ordered, I believe it was meat scraps and powdered cheese. It looks like as a result of that, my maximum health will be decreased. Thankfully, it won't matter too much on this next mission, because if you get hit once, it's pretty much a fail state. So, let's see if we can avoid making this even more miserable for ourselves than we already have. So the quest we're going to be looking at is the crystal hunting quest. I heard rumor there's a vein of sootstone that has been discovered, and of course they want me to go get it. I am very much not looking forward to this quest because it is not the best quest at all, not by a long shot. So something that would be a good idea to have is maybe some dash juice or mega dash juice, because it does prevent your stamina from decreasing. Unfortunately, I don't have access to that, so I'm just going to have to deal with what I got right now. Now, as is, I'm going to go ahead and make some room real quick, and then I'm going to take these guys on the quest. I accidentally started before everyone was prepared, so I might have to abandon the quest if everyone's not here. Alright, so thankfully it looks like everyone is pretty okay in terms of not needing to go back and prepare. So I am going to take this chance to get the rations and an old pickaxe. Oh, I actually don't have any iron pouch space left, but I do have an iron pickaxe, so it doesn't really matter. Of course, these rations are going to be very useful. I'm probably going to pop one as soon as I get to Area 11. So this is a map I haven't been on yet. This is the swamp map. I didn't realize my cursor was on the screen this whole time. Let me just fix that. But in the swamp map, in the Japanese version of the game, this is where you'd fight Rathian. But in the English version of the game, they actually have a quest for Gypsaros here in the swamp. And of course, a million Bullfango. Now, normally the thing with this map is you just need to make it through Area 5. That's really the big one. And I think it's kind of funny because, and it's a multiplayer quest, I'm not really sure what the point of trying to troll you is, but they start out with Velociprey, but on the way back, there's Genprey, which, as you know, do paralyze you, so that makes it even more stressful. But Area 10 is an area I love to be in, because, oh my god, look at this water. Look at these RTX graphics from the PlayStation 2 era of gaming. And it even has water physics whenever you move around in it. I guess ripple physics. But still, that shit look good! Anyway, we're going to go to Area 11. A hot drink would be useful right now because it is a cold area, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, it's a cold area, so your stamina will drain faster than normal. But basically what you're going to want to do is come over here to this giant crystal wall, which is nothing but sootstone. I think it's a normal gathering spot in other missions, but I could be wrong. So hopefully rain is going to be able to cover me just fine while I yank this crystal out and drag it back to Area 1. Now, I'm not a big fan of this quest because, unfortunately, whenever you do go out, you're going to start getting harassed by the Gypsaros and the Genprey. Now, I will try to give it a good college try on bringing the sootstone ore back, but I'll probably kill the Gypsaros if it does fail this first time, because navigating around the Genprey isn't too much of an issue, but navigating around the Genprey and a Gypsaros spazzing around everywhere and spitting out poison, and of course being able to flash you, that does make it substantially more difficult. Now, we're going to want to keep our ears open, because we're going to want to listen out for the wing beats of the Gypsaros. Basically, if we start hearing a large monster's wing beats, then that is not a good sign. Now, at this point, we should be hearing the Gypsyros show up any moment now, because... and as you can see, because of the Genprey, Rain got knocked out right away, and unfortunately, he did get paralyzed. Generally, with the Genprey, it is the same typical strategy. Basically, if they can jump at you, that is bad, so try not to let them jump at you. And of course, we can hear the wing beats of the Gypsyros, we can hear the sounds of the Gypsyros, and now we can hear the cry of the Gypsyros. So let's just try to keep this tree trunk between us and the Gypsyros. And of course, not get hit by him. Of course, his gusts of wind can knock us out of the animation, so we're going to want to avoid that. Thankfully, it looks like he didn't get us with the wind gust, so as long as the Genprey doesn't snipe us, yes, we should be perfectly fine now. So all it's here is Aptonoth, which is really good, because the Aptonoth won't assault you while you're carrying an item. So thank goodness for peaceful monsters, am I right, guys? Now, I know you saw one of the guys with what looks like a longsword. I believe it is Big D. He has a katana, basically. Longswords aren't in the game as a secret weapon or anything, although in Monster Hunter G and the English version of Monster Hunter 1, dual swords, are dual blades, as they're called in this game, are available as a secret weapon. However, the longsword is just a reskinned greatsword. Still really cool, but it is a greatsword. Of course, I am pretty upset because I thought Gypsyros couldn't come to Area 2, so that makes me feel pretty sad. That makes me feel pretty sad that Gypsyros is in Area 2. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if the guys want to kill the Gypsyros, because that would make things substantially easier. Of course, as you can see, the thing with Gypsyros is that I think he does try to harass people more while they're carrying and gathering stuff, so killing him would be a net positive just because it would get him out the way. And then all I'd have to contend with is the Genprey. So as you can see, those guys are coming out of Area 10. They have the Sootstone Ore, and Gypsyros is making a beeline straight for them. Now, unfortunately, with the Genprey here, they do infinitely respawn, so there really is no point in killing them here. Which does stink, but hey, it is what it is, right? Since my stamina has gone down by 1 degree, or by 1 bar, I am thinking about actually using a ration, but I might wait. I think I'm going to try to kill the Gypsyros myself, or at least try to distract. If you don't know, the Gypsyros' tail is his weak spot, and of course it's a lot harder for weapons to bounce on his tail. His hide is very thick though, so if you hit him anywhere besides his tail, you'll have a tendency to bounce. However, with the swamp map, this Gypsyros fight is pretty infamous because he just likes to fly around everywhere and do anything besides fight you. Well, not just fly around everywhere, but I believe here he'll fly around everywhere, and then in Area 5, he tends to run around everywhere, just kind of spitting poison around. I didn't realize his wind gust would get me there, so I'm going to try to see if I can time it right to where I can get in a jump attack to close the distance. Or Gypsyros could fly away to Area 5. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and try to get another Sootstone. I think I'm going to go ahead and use another ration right up here at the crystal wall. Now, I didn't get a response from the others, so I'm going to assume they don't want to kill Gypsyros, so I'm just going to go ahead and mine out this Sootstone Ore and see if I can bring it back. Oh, well, it looks like all the Sootstone Ore are already delivered. Well, see, that's the thing about doing this quest with friends. They do make it substantially easier. And of course, with me trying to distract the Gypsyros, that made it to where the guys were able to successfully get the Sootstone Ore back to Area 1. Because when all you gotta do is navigate around the Genprey, it's not as bad because it's a huge, wide open area. And there's also that stump close to the entrance, or I guess the exit. And you can put that between you and the Genprey to get a little bit of breathing room. Of course, getting enemies stuck on the environment, I guess it's a bit of an exploit, but hey, honestly, I consider Genprey cheaters. They just absolutely snipe you with those jump attacks. They lock on. I don't know what it is. Now, I could be wrong, but I remember doing the Sootstone quest solo. However, I believe in the English version of the game, the Sootstone quest is only 1. But you only gotta deliver 1 Sootstone Ore. Of course, doing it alone does make it substantially more difficult. Now, I am going to do... oh. Oh. Oh, no! So, I guess this quest exists. I'm not looking forward to this. So, I didn't realize there would be a multiplayer Liver of Legend quest. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. So, the big thing about these quests is, something I keep forgetting to do is, a good idea is to go back to your room and eat for health and clear out your inventory at the end of every mission. Of course, I keep forgetting to do that because I'm trying to hurry through this so I can get some editing done. But hey, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Now, what I like about this item shop here is that, and I'm going to grab these small barrel bombs for the Cephalos, but if you come over here to the item shop, you can actually buy not only information, but there's a couple of really expensive items. You get the Power Charm and you get the Armor Charm. And the thing about these items is that the Armor Charm can permanently boost your defense. All you got to do is hold on to it. And it's pretty effective. It doesn't do it like a huge substantial amount, but it does do it by a noticeable amount. And the same with the Power Charm. Now, obviously in this game, offense is much more valuable than defense, so it's always a good idea to try to get your attack as high as possible, especially towards the end of the game once you get to, like, Fatalis, Kieran, and Kezi. Especially Kezi. That guy is a tank of a monster. Alright, looks like we're doing this again, so let's get ready for the Liver of Legend Part 2. Now, it should be the same process as before whenever we do go out. We just want to go out there and kill Cephalos and carve their livers. Now, unfortunately, I do not have any Sonic Bombs with me. That's going to make this more difficult, even though I probably could have gone back to camp, grabbed some bomb materials and screamers, and gotten the bombs, but I'm just gonna suffer in silence. I'm gonna grab 2 of these Sonic Bombs, but also hold on to my small barrel bombs. I'm also gonna yoink these paintballs, since we don't really need them. Of course, I'll need the mini whetstones, since I am low sharpness, but hey, what can you do, right? Let's just go ahead and get these rations consumed, and then consume a cool drink. And then we can get this miserable quest out of the way. Oh, I forgot about this bug. Gotta love it. Now, another person joining us is Ice Storm. There's somebody in the community. I'm actually very fond of Ice Storm. Very, very cool dude. Of course, using these Sonic Bombs does make it substantially easier to kill these Cephalos. Oh, let's block that tail smack. But since we've used the Sonic Bomb, he will be out of the sand for a moment. Sometimes you can get unlucky, though. Sometimes you can use a Sonic Bomb, they'll jump out of the sand, do a single attack, and then they'll jump right back into the sand. Of course, they don't have as much health as the, larger monsters, but they do have substantially more health than some of these smaller monsters, like the Velociprey. So, because of that, they do let you carve off of them. Well, they don't let you carve off of them twice here, but I do think they let you carve off of them twice in later generations. I actually didn't know they could do that bite attack, so that is interesting to know. Very interesting to know. But I only have 1 Sonic Bomb left, and of course, oh goodness, of course I need to exchange it for something else. I'm going to go ahead and do the map, because I don't need the map anyways. So I believe I have 1 liver now. Yes, 1 liver, and we need 10. Alright, so since that guy went and smacks me with his fin, I'm going to go ahead and launch him out of the sand. Yep. And let's see if I can take him down. Of course, the same thing applies as fighting the Cephadrome. Just try to stay on his right side and bait out the bite and spit attacks. Oh, let's dodge that. And block. And I failed the block. That's great. Of course, he's going to spit, which is good, because that means we can get some free damage on his head. Like I said, though, the thing about Sword and Shield is because you do hit the enemy so much, your weapon sharpness does degrade a lot quicker. But hey, I'm getting that streamer luck. Looks like that is 2 of those piscine livers. Or piscine livers is the proper terminology. Alright, so let's try this again. And bada bing, bada boom. Yep, there we go. Probably should have sharpened, but I'm going to worry about that in just a moment. Oh, that's pretty funny. So that's the thing about small monsters and the older games. up until Monster Hunter World, the small monsters were not synced. So basically, he was fighting that Cephalos over there, while I was fighting it over here, which I think is just absolutely hilarious. Of course, we're going to use an herb, because no sense in wasting Mega Potions if you don't need to. But as soon as they... Oh! Cool. Of course, I forgot to sharpen again. But I'm going to go ahead and see if I can take this guy down real quick. Oh! And, of course, get tail smacked. Very unfortunate. There we go. I really should sharpen now. That's what I was scrolling through my inventory for before. I was wondering, like, hey, don't I need to do something? And because I'm such of a spaz, a forgetful spaz, I keep forgetting to sharpen my weapon. God, I just love the sword and shield. Of course, I was overcommitting there, which is never a good idea, but it's just so fun to use it. It's got some really nice combos, nice and action-packed. Oh my goodness. Just got to be careful about overcommitting, because that can happen. So, as I said, with friends, this is much more manageable, but obviously doing this alone would be one of the most miserable things in the world. Oh, didn't expect that to happen. Of course, now that I know the strategy to actually fighting them, it does make this much more manageable. Much more, I would say, even a little bit fun, because I'm playing with people. I was so confused there, because this guy, Rain, was going for eggs, and I was like, what? Eggs? Huh? Alright, so I'm starting to realize, as I do this more, this miserable quest is, it's not as bad as I actually thought it was, because I understand the quest now. I understand the quest, and I understand how the AI works. So this quest is, I would dare say, easy. Easy. Not easy, but just manageable. It's a normal quest. Obviously, doing this for 10 livers is far from easy, but actually doing the quest with a few other people and just knowing how the AI works, that makes this not only manageable, but kind of fun. Kind of fun, especially doing this with viewers. It's I can't say it's enough. It is, I am in such a lucky position to where I can just play this game with viewers and have a good grand old time. It's very pleasant, very fun. I know we just need to get one more Cephalos. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel that streamer luck wanting to kick in, and let's try to not let that happen. I can feel it. This one is definitely going to be a liver. It's not going to be a scale, it's not going to be a fang, it is going to be a liver. Wait, 3 more left? Well, I'm going to kill this guy just because I already engaged him, but I think we should be good. Come on, pissing liver, baby. Ah, yes, I knew it. I called it. I called it. We are good. We are Gucci. So let's go ahead and run back to camp. We just need to look for that big arch. There it is, that arch out of here. Normally, I'm not super terrible at these games, but the older generations, if you don't understand what you're doing, you're just going to be bad at the game no matter how good you are at the combat. But as soon as you understand the game, that does make it substantially easier. A lot more manageable, a lot more fun, even. You just got to understand how it all works, really. Now that I think about it, I'm starting to consider getting the Genprey armor. The Genprey or Ayaprey armor. Because it does look pretty sick. I was thinking about getting the Gypsaros armor, but now I kind of want the Iodrome set. Or Ayaprey set, whatever it's called. That armor that guy right there has. Except the Cut Kook assets. Oh, almost gave up my jewel ticket. Let's not do that. Medium Monster Bone is pretty valuable. Let's say I will give up my small barrel bombs for it. Oh, that was close. I'm gonna leave the Wyvern Claws, though. Those are pretty easy to come by, and I don't need them. Now let's see if I can blast through 1 or 2 more of these quests. Since we're not fighting the large monsters and we're just going for the objectives, I should be able to get a couple more of them down. Now, as we go through the game, it should get substantially harder, but the kill quests aren't going to show up too much in not Area 1, the 1-star quests. So we should be pretty okay to blast through a few of them. Like I said, though, it will be a few days on the 1-star quest, but now that we actually got a full party, we're in a much better position to where we can actually get these quests done at a reasonable pace. Of course, if you do go over on the piscine livers, they do sell for a pretty substantial amount of money, so always a good idea to sell them whenever you got them. What I'm going to do is, instead of going to the guest house, I actually haven't shown off the guest house, I realized, but I'll show that off probably tomorrow or sometime over the weekend. What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to go to the smithy, and I am going to store some gear. Alright, so we've already done the mushroom picking. Let's do, I don't want to do panning for goldfish, the party time one. Let's do it's party time. And while we're at it, there is one person in the comments who has been telling me where a blue mushroom spot is in Forest Hills this whole time, and I just haven't been registering what he's been saying. Now, if I remember correctly, the guy, Mr. I can't say your name properly. I'm sorry, dude. I'll show it up on screen or something, probably. But he said that in Area 4, in a bush close to Area 5, there is a blue mushroom gathering spot. So I am going to run over to Area 4 and see if I can gather some blue mushrooms out of that bush. And now it looks like they found the Kutku. I know that Big D was wearing a Kutku Tacit, but Velociprey armor. So I was using my intuition, and what I'm thinking is that he might want to get the battle set for the damage bonus. I'm assuming anyways. I did say in the chat, hey, we're getting some Kutku parts for Big D for his armor. But nobody did respond, so I'm going to assume that he probably wants to upgrade his set. Then again, he does have the katana, which is a pretty in-game weapon, so hey, you never know. Let's check these bushes over here. He did say it was in a bush, so I'm trying to find... Oh, I mean, it looks like that's a berry gathering spot, but not a bush. So you can definitely... not a bush, but not a mushroom gathering spot. So you definitely can't get blue mushrooms from there. Let's check this bush over here. Oh, nice. There's a spot over here. Alright, scatternut. That means it's a mushroom gathering spot. There is blue mushrooms. So this whole time, I could have gotten some blue mushrooms from here. So that is on me. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and toss the huskberry and scatternuts. I believe the scatternuts are used for the spread ammo. And the, what was it, needleberries? Those might be used for pierce ammo, but I could be wrong. Even so, the spread ammo, just shotgun, basically. Very fun to use. It's one of my favorite ammo types in the world because with the impact of the weapons and with those numbers popping up, it's just very satisfying to my lizard brain. Oh. Yeah, so even with a full party... Oh, it's Gypsyros. What? Well, I came at the absolute worst time, but... Hey, looks like they had a pretty easy time dealing with this guy. My guess is Big D got hit by the wake-up attack for whenever Gypsyros plays dead. And, of course, that does do a substantial amount of damage, and it killed him. Now, as nice as it is to play this older game, something I really do have an issue with is the chat box taking up so much of the screen. I don't think there's really a way you can mitigate that and make it smaller. So whenever somebody does talk and you're like in the middle of an important fight or something, that can make it a little miserable to play. Because, the normal UI, it's a bit much. Maybe it could be scaled down slightly, but it's alright. But then with the chat box there, that makes it rough. Very rough. As is, I'm going to go ahead and gather some raw meat to turn in. Oh, and a small monster ball. Neat. But I'm going to gather some raw meat to turn in. That way we can go ahead and wrap this quest up. Of course, I get 2 small monster bones in a row. But hey, what can you do, right? Okay, so I've been playing for a little bit. I'm probably going to go ahead and do one more quest before we call it a day. And once again, hey, to Mr. One, what's your name in the comments? Yeah, you're right about the blue mushroom spot. That's like the one spot in Forest and Hills that will give you mushrooms in this version of the game. He insisted, and he was right. I cannot believe I missed that spot this whole time. Well, I can believe it, because there's no indicator of it being there. There's not even moss line there, so it's kind of a hidden spot. So I guess it does make sense why, most people would not know it even exists. Oh, we got 7 raw meats. Looks like we'll need to get a couple more. We just need 3 more raw meats. Should be pretty easy to get. And what I might check out, if it's not too difficult, is the event quest. I know the other day, whenever I was grinding over the weekend, one of the event quests was, you got 5 minutes to kill Gypsyros. He's in Area 9, go get him, Tiger. And it was a blast. I actually really enjoyed it, but then there was like, right after that, it was like, oh, kill Lao Shan Long, which is like one of the final bosses in the game. I believe it's the second to last boss in multiplayer, either that or the third to last. Because I believe it goes Lao Shan Long, then Fatalis, then Kieran, or Lao Shan Long, then Kieran, then Fatalis. Then, of course, the other one was Kill Kieran, which is, you know, one of the final bosses in the game. So, yeah, event quests, usually they're meant for higher level people to keep them coming back to the game on the server side. But, unfortunately, there are some times where the event quests are something that somebody who's low ranked, such as myself, can manage to do. Like, you know, kill a Gypsyros with a party of 4 in like 5 minutes. Oh, if you don't know, you can do emotes in this game. You gotta pull up the keyboard with the triangle or Y button on an Xbox remote, and then go down to this little Japanese section here, and you can do emotes. Of course, there aren't a lot of emotes in this game, so you get what you got. I know that they expand on it every game. Sometimes they remove some emotes, sometimes they add others. One of the meme emotes in the Monster Hunter community, which I don't think shows up for a couple of games, is an emote called Prance. That's where you just kind of like do this little jig in place in a circle and wave, like do like jazz hands. It's very funny, very funny. Alright, now I don't know exactly what key quests are for the 1-star missions, but let me see what's here. I've already done the party time, Sculptor's Errand, show me your cooking skills, 15 well done steaks, and the Velociprey Lords. I think I know what I want to end the quest on. Alright, looks like everyone's on board with hunting a Rathalos. I'm just going to throw these rubbery hides in here so I can get the Gypsyros armor. Or the Genprey armor. We'll see. I do also want to get the Rathalos armor, so I need to grind up Rathalos parts anyways. For this one, I'm going to try to use the Lance. Now, the Lance in this game is pretty awful to use, but it is really strong. So it's worth using if you want a weapon that's effective, but you have to get good at using it. It's very unwieldy. So this mission is called the Velociprey Lords. Basically, you gotta kill 3 Velocidrum, which is pretty easy, but there's also a Rathalos wandering around, so you do have to be mindful of that. Now, I can't remember for sure, but I think the red little paper thing indicates a key quest, and the green ones indicate normal quests. I can't remember. I know that there's the little red notices, the green notices, and the, I think there's ones that are like kind of beige or white, but I never really was able to figure out exactly what they mean. I do think the red icon is quests that are ones you like have to do, they're key quests. I'm going to go ahead and grab some small barrel bombs and large barrel bombs just to make this a little bit easier, and it would be a good idea to stock up on potions, or excuse me, antidotes. Antidotes and potions. On the single player, though, after you beat the Monoblos, you can unlock the ability to use potions. Now, I know one strategy for defeating Rathalos is some people were saying you can stunlock his head with a lance. I tried using lance once against the Rathalos, and it went pretty miserably because I suck with the lance, but hey, we'll certainly give it a good try. Alright, looks like everybody's ready. Let's let the suffering commence. Now, something I noticed with Kutku, I'm not sure if it's just a rare move he uses, but when I was in multiplayer, he did use this one move where he was just kind of spitting fireballs everywhere. I don't know if it's because he was a high-rank Kutku, which I highly doubt, because I don't even have access to high rank, because I'm low rank, and you can't do high-rank missions while you're low rank. Or if there's, like, multiplayer moves that monsters will specifically do, or maybe there was a situation where Kutku just specifically used that attack, but I know that between low rank and high rank, monsters do get new and different monsters. Not monsters, but abilities, moves they can use. So it's always a good idea to make sure you keep in mind that as you switch between ranks and as you switch between games, monsters will, of course, get different abilities that they can use. It does look like 2 of them aren't even using maps. I always try to get a map wherever I can, because as confident as I am with my knowledge of the area, if I paintball Rathalos and it's flying around everywhere, I like to know exactly where it's at. I don't want to accidentally guess, you know, Area 9, but oh, it's in Area 10, you know? And of course, I know the last couple of episodes, my voice was overpowering the in-game audio, so hopefully this is a bit better. I can't exactly fix it in post, but we'll just certainly have to see, won't we? I probably should have grabbed some flash bombs, but that's okay. I got barrel bombs, and as long as somebody flashes Rathalos, I can take it from there. Now, even though this quest is the Velociprey Lords, there are Velociprey here. I don't know if they'll infinitely respawn. It does make sense that they're Velociprey everywhere because there's 3 Velocidrome, but let me see if these Velociprey actually respawn. Now, I'm hoping since I've killed these guys, they won't respawn again. Oh, and it looks like they found Rathalos. Usually he is in Area 6. I probably should have gone to Area 6 first, but hey, that's okay. But I'm probably going to grab the Velocidrome parts just because I do want either the Velocidrome armor, the Gendrome armor, or the Iodrome armor. One of them. I'll either do one of the Drome armors or the Gypsaros armor, and then I'll switch over to the Rathalos armor once I get that far. Because the Kutku armor just looks ugly, and while I'm in multiplayer, I want to focus on aesthetics more than, you know, actual defense and stuff. Because I'll have a whole party to actually play with, so I can focus on fun. You know, instead of having to try hard the game. That really is what this is all about. I love Monster Hunter, and I don't want to, like, challenge myself to the point where the game isn't fun just for the sake of content. I want to have fun with this. I want to have fun with this. I want to play the community, let them have fun with it, and then after I beat through the highest rank in the game and the last final monster, I want to be able to go in a single player and just kind of cruise through it with overpowered gear and just enjoy the story for what it is. A little different, but, you know, I think having this more relaxed take is pretty nice compared to what a lot of people do. Not that I have anything against that. It makes for great content. And, of course, it can be fun having challenges in their own sense, but for me, they just lose their luster after the first 5 or 10 times dying. Now, with the Lance, with Rathalos, what you want to do is try to get close to his head, and then after you get close to his head, you want to just poke him with a big stick as much as you can. Hopefully, if you can reach his head and hit him enough times, it'll actually stun lock him. That's what I was saying about the Lance. It's just very difficult for me to actually get a handle of it. Oh! Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. You get a tail. Alright, well, since the tail's down, I'm going to go ahead and carve it. I can't tell if that's a Rathalos greatsword or not. I know Rathalos does have his own specific greatsword. It's a very iconic weapon, too. But I want to know what kind of katana that is. It's pretty neat, pretty neat. And, of course, Rathalos is doing his famous World Tour attack. This actually does remind me of an animator called NCH Productions. I think in one of the episodes, a big meme in the older games is trying to farm high-rank Rathalos, because you got to cut his tail, and then you can get Rathalos plates from it. Oh, he's on land. Okay. But, a lot of times, you can only get Rathalos plates from the tail. So what people do is they'll cut off the tail, and then they'll immediately carve it. And then if they don't get a plate right away, they'll just immediately abandon the quest. Because it is the only way you can get a plate. Sometimes you can fight dozens and dozens of Rathalos before you get a single plate. It's pretty terrible. Alright, well now that he's down, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down these bombs here. If my teammates will let me. If my teammates will let me. Gotta love multiplayer. Thankfully, there's no friendly fire in this game. I am just getting absolutely bullied. Oh my god. Alright, now that Rathalos is about to die, let's go ahead and run over to Area 5 so we can finish him off before he goes to sleep. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and use a whetstone. Hey, looks like we did it. Nice, nice. I probably contributed very little to that, but honestly, hey, I'll take the win. Now, with large monsters like the smaller large monsters like the Velocidrome, I found out you can only carve twice. And then you got large monsters, like larger monsters like the Gypsaros and the Rathalos and the Kutku. You can carve them 3 times. Anyway, now that we're done with that, we can just go hunt the Velocidrome and call it quits. Oh my goodness. Hi, Velocidrome. We can just stun lock and bully this guy. Oh. Oh, I wonder. I want to see if we can actually kick the next Velocidrome to death. We should do it. I'm gonna pop the question. I actually want to see how long it takes. I wonder how much damage the kick actually does. I want to do it for science. And of course you can stun lock him. Ah, looks like Ice is having none of it. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna try to kick him. I can't believe that actually works. I don't think my team is very fond of that idea. Oh my god, getting absolutely launched. Oh, I love this community. Who knows? Maybe for like a 1,000 subscriber special, I'll spend it just kicking a Velocidrome to death. If the kick actually does damage. If the kick does like 1 damage, for my 1,000 subscriber special, I will actually spend like an hour kicking a Velocidrome to death. Maybe 5,000. I'll probably do it at like 5k. Alright, well before we call it, I'm going to try to pet Poogie one more time. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Oh, I did it! Oh, and he doesn't do the spin. He just looks happy. I wonder if he at least follows you around. Oh, he does follow you around. That is so adorable. How far does he go? I know after this game and the older games, not in the older games, some of the newer games after this one, he'll actually, like, jump up into the air in this exact pose. He won't animate or anything. He'll just spin and then jump. He'll jump in the air while he's spinning. It's very funny. But that's it. I think I'm going to call it for today. It was very fun playing with the community. To those who joined, thank you so much for joining. And if you do join the Discord, and I will be linking an invite down in the description below from now on, anyone who does join is welcome to play with me. As I said before, people who haven't played before, who want to play, they will be given priority access over those who want to play, because I want to give everybody a chance to just kind of do hunts and play with me. And anybody who can't play with me, y'all can all play together. And we can just make this a whole grand old fun time. Just revive these games and really peak up their numbers. But that said, thank everybody so much for watching. If you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below if you have any tips or additional information to provide for me. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. And if you do want to ensure the future of the channel or recommend other games for me to play outside of Monster Hunter, check out the Patreon linked in the description below. That way I can get me a set of Rathalos armor. Bye now.